Well, hello there, and welcome back to Hot Springs Island. It's been a hot second, because for some odd reason, Fridays don't like us. Let's go ahead and reschedule to a Saturday for this week. Let us hop into Discord to join the peeps. Hello.
Hello.
Greetings, one and all. All right, we're back in the saddle. Does anyone remember what happened last time?
We're camping on a big metal
Hydra,
which is erupting currently, apparently.
Correct. You guys are camping under the Hydra. It is midnight, exactly. And prior to our long rest, it just started shooting water everywhere. I believe all the eyes begun to glow a bright blue, and hundreds of gallons of water are just like rocketing out of all their mouths. Fortunately, you guys are one different place under it, so there's a little bit of driplets, if you will, kind of coming down their neck and hitting around where you guys are, but you are relatively safe where you currently are situated, so no issues there.
Aldrin.
Huh?
Teach me a new word.
Not right now.
Come on, why not?
No.
I mean, we were about to go to sleep, weren't we?
Exactly.
No.
Fine.
Alrighty, and with this Hydra absolutely just gushing everywhere, as one does.
It's ambiance.
It is ambiance. We can indeed...
How long is this thing gushing, though? Is it like a short bout, or is it like it's going to keep on continuing?
It's going to spray water for a good 30 minutes to an hour, but after the first, like, blah, it's more just like not a nice little, you know, what is it called? Like the liminal flow or laminar flow. It's not that nice looking, but it's more controlled rather than like projectile water vomit. Because of this, creatures and such are not currently attracted to where you guys are located. I won't have you roll for lookout and sleep. You guys can just have your quick 8-hour rest. So we'll jack that down to 8 a.m.
I mean, Daniel's going to keep watch anyway.
Indeed.
He's also going to go absolutely wild playing with the water, but yeah.
It's currently 8 a.m. on the 9th day now, it should be.
Checking my math, huh?
And to quickly go over things, after our last fight, we added 3 level up perks basically to everybody. Lekka took effectively a half version of Ritual Caster. Effectively, all it does is allows him to take a sorcerer or wizard spell, you know, according to how many he can have, as long as he can find it, up to half his level, scaled up, rather than just wizard level 1, so he'll have access to more things for casting. Mr. Aldrin, I have to think about saying your name now. Now that I know they're the same, I have to think about it. I hate it. He took proficiency in athletics.
I didn't mean it.
It's okay.
Lies.
If it makes you feel any better, I named 2 characters in Fate and Blades in the Dark. Orlin and Olin.
Nice.
Yeah. Go me. If you want to feel really stupid, I got into D&D after listening to the Adventure Zone. One of the first NPCs they run into is named Killian. Guess what I named the first NPC in my first D&D game ever?
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. And then all my friends listen to the same podcast, so they're like, oh, nice name. And I literally went, what are you talking about? I totally forgot that was her name.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super awkward. I was like, what? I'm like, haha, Killian? Like, what? What's so funny about Killian? I don't get it. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dumb. So, our brains are wonderful. And, I'm not sure if you copy-pasted it in just yet. You did. Whoa, that's ugly to look at. Let me fix that for you. She took the unlucky feat, which is not necessarily something that exists, but hey, now it does. I don't know exactly.
It exists in D&D Beyond, but I can't find it anywhere else. I don't know why.
It's homebrew.
It's a homebrew thing.
It's homebrew only, that's why.
Oh.
Also, why you have access to all my homebrews.
Yeah. So, I forgot exactly how it works, but she thought it would be funny because her sister has lucky. I believe you can make other people luckier by making yourself unlucky. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. I make someone else lucky by making me unlucky.
Yes, it says you need more of that. After 8 hours, we have our long rest. The sun hath risen. We are in square. This is definitely a square, not a hexagon. HS16, resting under the very large rusted Hydra. It is morning. Roll rested well. Daniel stayed on the lookout. The water has, as I mentioned, completely ceased. Did you guys discuss anything over the night, in the morning, while we're chilling? Or we kind of just like rest and then we're moving on? I think we said we wanted to look at a ziggurat and an outcropping of rocks.
Yeah, so I think we want to go to the ziggurat, right?
So?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and move our timer up by 4 hours. So it's going to be 12 p.m. The sun is high and dry. Oh, if each of you could go ahead and pop a food as well, that'd be great. Alrighty. And the primal ziggurat. Heading southward. You all run into a massive ziggurat of black obsidian. It is approximately 200 by 150 feet. It stands amid a very thick jungle and is overgrown with vines. As you get closer and closer to it, you can see that the top of this megalithic structure is hidden by a very dense jungle canopy, about 100 feet above the ground. And it has a fairly steep 30-foot wide stairway that climbs up the eastern face of the ziggurat, and then disappears into the trees. Piles of fern, cloaked rubble, scattered near the base of the structure appear to be the remains of either relief carvings or statues, the surfaces of which some are carved with scales.
Like lizard scales?
Correct. The statues are very, very dilapidated. It's been some time. These are not new carvings. The bodies seem very, very reptilian, but they are beaten to shit, whether it be through time or someone came through here and just, did the business.
All right, well, we're getting closer to lizard territory, so I guess this makes sense.
Well, I want to climb it.
I'm kind of afraid.
Of what?
But why, though?
It looks pretty dilapidated.
Sure, let's climb it.
Away?
There aren't any obvious signs of use, are there?
No, not that you can see. I mean, it was at one time used. It's obviously difficult to, tell X, Y, and Z, but there's definitely nobody here. Looking around with the assistance of Daniel, nothing is lying in wait. It is definitely not currently in use. Alrighty, so we're climbing up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am treating going up the stairs like a Stairmaster workout.
Sure, yeah. It's up there.
I gotta keep my legs in shape, yeah.
Yeah. You do have to get somewhere.
I mean, these are some pretty high steps, so us crawling up half of them.
As you guys climb, you realize the top of the ziggurat is 150 feet above the ground. It is definitely a climb. And as you travel up through the grand archway before entering the flat top of the ziggurat, you kind of notice all around you that, like I mentioned, there's various vines, and the jungle is kind of growing to both cover the middle ground of the ziggurat and also effectively the entrance and stuff. It'd be difficult to see this area from far away, but the top is revealed. That's how you guys saw it from so high up near the Hydra. Upon reaching the top, you actually feel the surface. You look at it, and it is exceptionally smooth. It almost looks like it's polished to a mirror-like finish.
Is it actually mirror-like finish?
You can see yourself reflected in it, yeah.
How did that not blind us when we were up higher?
It was nighttime. Midnight.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys saw the reflection of it. You guys saw it, basically.
Ooh, fancy.
Are there any markings on the mirror?
No, it's completely smooth. But you actually notice from here, there's a smaller ziggurat that looks to be about... It was hidden amongst the trees and such, but from here you can see it quite clearly. It's approximately 30 by 30, and it rises actually from the western side of the ziggurat. So it's a fair ways down. You guys are about 150 feet up. This is approximately 120 feet down from where you guys currently are. And like I said, it's on the western side. The stairs were on the eastern side.
So is it beside it or
Yes.
attached to it?
It's attached to it.
What can we make out from up here?
From up here,
Is it mirror-like too?
it is not, no. Primarily, it is obscured by the jungle. You can make out a few things. As the structure rises from the western side of the ziggurat, you can actually see, kind of peering between the leaves and such, a large open area, and there's a small, round pavilion that is structured very clearly. This is all definitely intentional. And it looks unharmed by time, similar to this very flat surface. You can see, sort of under this pavilion, there's possibly liquid shimmering, but the sun's barely glimmering off it. And because of all the obstruction from the plants and such, it's difficult to see exactly what it is.
While we're here anyway, might as well check.
Yeah. Also, for reference, do you guys know whenever you go to a park and there's a whole bunch of tables set out and there's that wooden structure that prevents rain from getting on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pavilion.
Yes.
So from this angle, you can very much see what's going on. If y'all want to go down there, you're more than welcome to do so.
Sure.
Assuming there's nothing moving down there, yes.
You don't see anything moving besides the very subtle movement of water.
This is where we face the mimic gazebo, or in this case, the mimic pavilion.
Ah, yes.
Indeed.
My favorite.
All right. And as we all head down, it takes struggling is the wrong term. It takes a little bit of fangdangling to get down here. So you're able to climb down with relative speed. We don't want to rush this, obviously. The steps are a little slippery. The overgrowth has made it relatively difficult to traverse the area. But as we move down to this round pavilion, you can see closer, now that you guys have not necessarily moved like the leaves out of the way, now that you're closer to it, because you were 120 feet or so away before, you actually see on top of this pavilion, there's a red crystal that adorns it. And as you guys move closer to the pool that you can see from up above, you actually realize that it's not water, but it's liquid mithril.
What's the melting point of that stuff?
Great question. It's not hot, though. I'll tell you that much.
Holy shit, we're rich.
Can I take a leaf and dip it in?
You very much can. And as you get your hand close, you realize that it's actually, you don't physically touch it, but obviously any sort of molten liquid would radiate heat. This does not. It is effectively cool to the touch. The leaf does not burn, doesn't catch on fire. As I mentioned, you don't feel any radiant heat coming from this.
How is this possible?
Does any of it stick to the leaf, or is it just like dropping off, basically?
Yes, it does. It sticks to the leaf. It does drop off, but it forms a nice coat around it. It doesn't heat up. Ooh. It stays the same coolness.
Hey, Eldrin, stick your sword in it.
No.
Why not?
No. Just no.
Lekka's tempted to dip his shirt in it. I've always wanted a mithril shirt. That's how it works, right?
Obviously.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
He's asking that in character, by the way.
No!
What do you mean, no?
I mean, liquid mithril. Dip something in it, it becomes mithril, right?
Can I push the leaf on the ground and stomp on it?
You very much can, yeah.
Does it just like splash up, or does it actually guard it?
It steps in your foot.
Effectively, yeah. You step on it, and it's sticky and wet. I'm trying to think of a substance that would be similar to, because it's not sticky, but it does self-adhere. It's a little thicker than water, obviously.
Like, what's it called? The non-Newtonian fluid stuff.
Similar, yeah, similar. Not as extreme, but very similar.
Yeah, damn it. I'm gonna take some anyway in a vial.
Right, you can very much do that. It definitely coats the vial a bit, but slips on in with no issue.
So what happened to my leaf when I stomped on it?
It's now a crushed leaf, waifu.
Yeah, it's a fresh leaf, so you basically just stomped on a leaf and got some of the sticky stuff on your shoe.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
See, now you have mithril shoes.
I will stomp on it with my other foot, so that both shoes are now mithril coated on the bottoms.
All right, less so coated, more so. There's leaf and prints on the bottom of your shoe.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Stylish.
I mean, I guess mithril is pretty.
I will test walking around. Do I leave footprints? Leaf prints?
Like one or two, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not that much.
Red crystal or something?
Yeah, it adorns the top of the gazebo, if you will.
Okay. Guess what I'm doing? I'm identifying both the crystal and the vial of mithril to see if it's actual mithril or something that just looks like it.
We'll say you'll get a better response from using it from the pool, specifically. It is very much magical. Precisely what it is supposed to do, you're not entirely sure. But I will say this pool is large enough to fit. If you were shoulder to shoulder, treating it like a hot tub, you could probably fit like 10 people in here pretty easily.
Oh, that's a lot of mithril.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch here. It's effectively a pool's worth. And it definitely has a magical property that is specifically located in this area. So the mithril itself is magical, but you can tell the source is the pool, not the mithril itself.
So the pool is magical?
Yes, all of it together is the magic. Okay. So separated, looking at the one in the vial, I'd say if this was a sense magical, intensity, it's much less in the vial. If anything, it's fading. And the glowing red crystal, you're also receiving something from that as well. And upon closer inspection, it actually looks very similar to the one that Ma showed you.
Oh, should we take it? Wait, is it attached to anything, or is it just on a pedestal or something?
It is attached, yeah. You could, as long as you're relatively careful, you could, wedge it off. It's not infused to this thing, but you could definitely get it off if you wanted to.
Wait, remind me what the crystal Ma showed us was?
She wasn't really sure what it was, but she's aware that it has some power to it. Lekka licked it, and his nose disappeared for a second. His tongue and muzzle disappeared, and then it reconstituted.
Yeah. Is this one bigger?
It's a little larger than the one she showed you. Maybe about half as large. Not huge by any means, but it's a good size, yeah.
So do you want to take it?
I don't know if we want to take it.
I mean, Matt was interested in this. It's probably worth a lot. Just gotta climb up.
I will climb up.
The worst that can happen, I say, before disaster strikes.
I die.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Go ahead, take it.
You
All right, make sure not to touch it with your bare hands, by the way.
Yeah, you shimmy on up and you see the crystal.
How big
If
is
you
it?
want, for you, I'd say it's about the size close to an apple, like a nice sized apple.
Oh. I will just.
Try not
No,
to
I
break
probably-
the pedestal, whatever it's on.
I probably have like some cloth or something I can grab it with.
Sure. Do you have a tool to loosen it? It's wedged in there pretty good.
No. I think Lekka had a crowbar that I could use, maybe.
Sure, I'll try to throw out the crowbar.
Okay. You toss up the crowbar
Crowbar.
to Aldrin, and
Actually, how heavy is a crowbar? Can I
oh, it's not too heavy.
magic
I don't
hand
think
it
it's
up?
that bad.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'll mage hand it up then.
Yeah, sure. Mage hand is like what, 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet. 5
How convenient!
pounds.
It's 30 feet tall.
Nice.
Excellent. You get exactly as high as the pavilion and no higher. Oh, wait, no, sorry. You're sorry. You're like what, 4 feet tall? So exactly
He has
34
to
feet
crouch
out.
a bit.
Yeah. you duck and then go max. You lay flat on the floor and go max distance.
And then he falls.
Yeah, exactly. You're able to grab that easily, Aldrin. And with a little bit of feign dangling, you pop it loose. There's no explosion. There's no scream of the dead. It just kind of pops loose after you sort of retch off the like metal, I don't want to say claws, but yeah, basically metal claws that were holding it in.
Then I will, I don't know, just shove it in my backpack.
Sure, yeah, you can go ahead and add that as an item you have on you. Just call it red crystal for now, or glowing red crystal, yeah. Just so we know it's not a gem or something.
No.
Other than that, it seems fairly quiet here.
While he's doing that, can I dip the leaf in the water again and then set the leaf on fire? The mithril?
I mean, I'm just checking if the mithril changes after we took the gem.
From what you can tell, no. After you remove the gem, you're watching at Lekka. So, Robbie, you dip another leaf in. You're trying to light the leaf on fire?
Or the mithril, because I mean, if it's liquid right now, I want to see if heat makes it like air or solid.
Okay. Upon doing that,
I mean, try freezing it, guys.
yeah, basically all that happens is the exposed part of the leaf burns, and then it just fizzles out. The mithril itself isn't really any warmer, like maybe a little bit, but it's still pretty cool to touch.
And it's untouched by the fire?
And the mithril in the vial is less magical than the pull, right?
It feels as if whatever is contained within it is fading.
Okay. I guess I'll keep a close eye on that and see if it changes.
Sure.
And I guess I'll also help Sarabi and try to freeze the mithril with my random ice cantrip.
All right.
With a third leaf?
Sure.
Sure.
These poor leaves.
They're right nearby.
Why you bully?
Upon trying to freeze it, you get about the same reaction. The leaf itself freezes, but the mithril itself seems to effectively ignore any outside elemental influences.
Well, shit. Well, we can come back to that later.
Yes.
Mark that on our hand-drawn map. I forget who did that, but someone has a map.
Sarabi did.
Yeah, it's me. I'm finally the artist for once.
You did it.
I'm sure Martel will love liquid mithril. An entire pool of it,
Who wouldn't?
assuming it can be used.
All right, looking about, where do we head to next?
We were going to follow the river downstream, right?
With our newfound canoe, yes.
You guys very much can go south if you wish. You do know that the lizard boys are to the east of here, though, so it's totally up to you.
The river goes
I mean-
southeast, right?
The river does indeed, from where you guys can tell, it'll move southeast. You guys are in Hex 16. You know it'll bring you to Hex 20.
Okay, do we know if the lizards are like directly east?
From where you're currently located, as a reminder, they told you that the Arva are basically everywhere. They're most likely hiding in the furthest to the southwest. The Goa, they said, are probably in 17 and 23, or at least where you guys are. 17 would be directly east of where you guys are. 23 would be south. Just continue that way. And then the Kiru, the ones that were more relaxed, are in 21, which is exactly southeast where you guys are now. You have to climb over some mountains to get there, but
I can't remember the laid back ones. Would they be willing to join a fight or are they too peaceful?
not many people know about the lizard folk here in general, primarily because a lot of them either attack on sight or they just don't want to talk.
From what we understand, even the peaceful ones are pretty war hungry.
Right. You didn't really know much about the Kiru. You know they're 100% the most relaxed.
Then we probably want to follow the river down southeast, since that'll take us closest to the Kiru.
I deploy the canoe.
Oh, I see. The river goes straight south. Okay.
Indeed, yes. From up above, you guys could see that the river did indeed go straight south. So now we are headed into a new area. Alrighty, we break out the foldable canoe. Like I mentioned, it is indeed large enough to fit all three of you with relative ease. Especially helps because we have one small boy on our team. As you sort of twist at this wooden ball and push at various locations in order, the whole thing kind of like plops outward into a very large 7-foot canoe. And as it sits there in the water, you guys need just a little push to get going, and you should head right on down.
Lekker will be showing up his captaining skills and will be blowing the canoe forward with air instead of canoeing.
Excellent. And as you guys are heading forward, you see to your left and to your right, as we gaze into the jungle, various animals and such that are kind of watching you all. And for the briefest of moments, you think you maybe see one of the lizard folk peering out between the jungle brush. But you guys pass by all too fast, or they jump back into the shadows. Not entirely sure.
Too dark to see the color?
It was too dark, yeah. Intentionally so. They're very much trying to hide. And as you head forward, Lekka, you realize it gets easier and easier to push this canoe. You're not really sure if you're just getting better at it. Maybe the water is speeding up just a wee bit to make things a little easier. I mean, we are going downhill. You can very much tell that quite easily. You guys were at kind of the peak of the island before, so we're getting closer and closer to the edge. Looking just off ahead, you guys can actually almost kind of see where this is going to eventually lead. And no surprise whatsoever, you guys can hear the rushing of a waterfall up ahead a fair distance.
I'll have Daniel scout it ahead anyway, so...
Yeah, exactly. He would definitely know. And as he moves up ahead, he can see a very, very large waterfall. From what he can tell as he comes back to you, Lekka, it seems to be about 1,000-foot drop.
1,000 foot, all right.
Mm-hmm. And then it falls into a lake that's approximately 500 feet in diameter.
So you basically see Lekka and Daniel just nodding heads as he squawks along. Okay. I understand. All right, then we know what we should do. How deep you say it was? 1,000? All right, okay. All hands get to the shore now.
Yeah, to the shore.
Yeah, I'm sure this canoe has like pedals, right?
Very much so, yes.
Okay, I just start pedaling.
It's the Cadillac of canoes. With your various magics and your ability to push
three entire Sarabi powers.
Yeah, while it is indeed speeding up, you guys don't need to use a brute force to get this thing off to the side. With your combination of abilities, you guys are able to kind of skirt this thing off to the side, land it somewhere relatively nice, kind of on one of the harder turns. You kind of turn into it rather than turning against it, and you guys are able to, with relative ease, land this thing up off to the side. And just up ahead, both seeing through Daniel's eyes and him just kind of going back, there were many clouds of like steam and just generally, giant waterfalls, so it makes sense, just billowing up. And looking about yourselves, you guys are once again kind of in the middle of the jungle. You hear the chirping of birds, skittering of animals. Where do we all head to next?
We put over to the eastern bank, right?
Your choice. East
we want to go east, so yeah.
Sure, in that case, eastern side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm checking out the cliff at this point. Get a nice sense of the view, I guess.
Okay. Oh, you're looking over the waterfall?
Yeah. Basically,
sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely. As you guys kind of, meander on forward, you look over the edge of this waterfall, and we'll say you're probably giving it a nice look for a little while. You can see every few minutes or so, it might be a trick of the light or something else. You're not entirely sure, but it almost seems like it's not billowing clouds and steam up, but it's bursting upward. Almost like it's as if it's charging, and then just kind of, and there's this cloud of steam kind of billows upward and then dissipates. And then some minutes after that, it kind of and then floats off to the left or the right. They don't seem to be contained. This isn't some being forming, but something is causing this fairly steady. It's not perfectly rhythmic. It's not every minute. It's every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, or it's fairly consistent. But there's no exact pattern to it. But it's making billowing clouds come up.
The waterfall is?
Mm-hmm. Seems to come from the lake, actually. Not necessarily where the waterfall is striking into the water.
This place is so weird.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here.
All right, after gazing around a little bit, what do y'all do?
I mean, you want to go east, right?
Yeah, we want to go east. How far back was that lizard?
The one you fought?
No, the one we saw peeking out of the forest.
I'd say about a half mile up.
Oh, we're not far then.
Not too far now. And to be clear, he was on the western bank, now that you guys are kind of orienting yourselves.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still think we should go east.
We can walk along the cliff.
Yes.
All right.
East.
Can we see that graveyard from down here? From up here, I mean?
I would say technically no. I believe that's supposed to be covered by jungle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say maybe you see not a disturbance, obviously, but there's something definitely going on down there. Not necessarily a clearing, but we'll say the growth of the trees is different, and maybe you'd make a mental note that when you guys decide to go down there, there's probably something down there.
I mean, I can have Daniel take a quick look, I guess, but I can't see what's there myself.
Right.
Because it's 1,000 feet down, which is pretty damn far.
Yeah. And mine is playing charades, which is what we just did a second ago. I'm sure he could hold up feathers 1000.
Basically, yeah.
That's kind of how I'm seeing that. He comes to you, he's 1000. It's like, okay, 1,000, cool. Or he just goes, it's really far. It's bad. And you guys all mentioned you're moving eastward now to the Hex over one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be approximately 8 o'clock by the time we get there.
Did the canoe give us any speed advantage, by the way? Or?
Very much so, yes. So it allowed you guys to basically look through all this, see down into basically receive more information from your surroundings rather than just get here in time.
All right.
All right. So as we
What's the
move,
first sight?
the waterfall, and the information, and the information of the skull shit down there, basically, and then the fact that it billows up occasionally. You had enough time to kind of watch it because it'd take me maybe 10 or so minutes just watching, maybe a little tedious, but still strange all the same.
How weird.
And as we move forth, the sun begins to set. It is not currently dark just yet, but as we move through the forest, it gives way to the mountainous area. And you guys kind of pause for but a moment as you hear movement. And the movement is rhythmic. It's very kind of pause, and then you hear a scrape and and it's getting closer. What do y'all do?
What's that?
Duck behind a bush.
On a mountain?
There are various plants, but it'd be difficult to hide up here. Hiding behind a bush specifically. You guys could very much hide if you want to do that, around a corner or something.
I can hide behind a small rock.
Yeah, you're tiny, so easier for you. You don't have 9 tails.
Or you can hide behind a tree.
Shadowed.
You can definitely wiggle about and try hiding somewhere. Aldrin, what are you doing?
I will take out my mace, but I will still try to hide.
Okay. Are you kind of leading the front of the group towards where the sound's coming from?
Probably.
Okay. And as you all do that, you begin to hear kind of a heavy breathing. And just up ahead, since you all are hiding, you actually recognize this person as they quickly turn around the corner to meet you all.
With a person.
Indeed, it is Ada. She was part of Jack and Joni's group, the one that went down to the south.
Joni's the one looking for Charlie?
Correct. As a quick reminder, she has dark eyes and braids up her black hair that has small silver chains that kind of holds it all together. She's wearing a blue sash with blue and purple robes. You guys know her to be a caster. She is very wizardly. And she's looking around and seems somewhat panicked. And she kind of...
Again?
Ada. ADA.
I'll go ahead and call out to her.
As you do that, her eyes bolt up and she looks about and kind of holds her staff at the ready. And then goes, Who's that?
It's me, Sarabi.
You can...
Oh.
If anything, hear her thinking.
Where's Jody and Jack?
She takes another step forward and says, Oh, you all. And she takes a step forward again. She says, I was separated from them.
Why do you look so panicked? What are you running from?
there was, I don't know, some four-legged creature covered in spikes, and, well, I'm pretty sure I got away from it. I mean, she motions to herself and says, you can tell I'm not exactly a frontline fighter.
Where are Jody and Jack?
They should be probably west of here. I was separated from them a day ago. We were
West of here? That's not good.
No, yeah, they're further, but they should be safe. Our group is quite large. I feel like a fool being separated like this. I'm able to take care of myself, but, well, she kind of motions to around her and, motions to you guys. There's three of you. It's pretty foolish to walk around here alone, especially down here.
Yes. You're very much a little out of place.
Yes, well, this is somewhat embarrassing, but in my haste to run away, I sort of dropped something important to me back there. She points to the east where you guys are actually headed. It helps me with my casting.
We can help you look. Have you seen any lizard men?
Yes, I was. I think I was running from one. I'm not entirely sure. There was, like I mentioned, that four-legged spiny beast. I was able to kill one that was a bit smaller. It wasn't really too big of an issue, but well, I'm not the one that is carrying the tent and all the sleeping apparatuses, so it's, well, fairly hard for me to rest out here. At least safely.
Do you happen to know what kind of lizard man it was? Multiple tribes here, actually.
Yeah, she's racking her mind. She's like, I think it was... I think they call themselves the Goa, the ones without tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Right, those. I don't know if he was hunting me or if he was just watching. I don't want to take any risks. I don't even know if they speak our language.
We ask if they speak our language?
I mean, we have had one of them talk to us, but that was the other clan, right? Not a Goa? Or was he a Goa?
Correct. You believe he was from the Kiro clan, and he did speak with you guys.
Yes. Some of them do. Probably not the clan with tattoos, though.
Well, all the same,
the one.
Yeah, all the same, I'd prefer to avoid them. But if you don't mind all helping, I can reward you. We picked up various things along the way. I can give you gold, realistically, whatever you want.
Well, it's probably safer if you come with us for now, I guess.
I would prefer that, yes. We have ways of communicating, and while they are to the west, She kind of fiddles around in her bag a little, and she pulls out what you guys can tell to be a stone of sending, and she looks at it real quick and then stuffs it back away and says, yes, we were able to contact each other not too long ago, and they said we'd meet, and she kind of points past the mountains in the direction where you guys came from, where the large hydra is. Somewhere around there, I think. Any
landmarks?
They mentioned there was this giant statue of some sort. I don't think it was a dragon. I think it was some multi-headed beast. They said it'd be impossible to miss.
Oh, how fun. We actually camped there.
Oh. Well, if it stands out that much.
Yeah, it's pretty safe.
Oh, excellent. Good. But
it's a long way from here, though.
Well, like I mentioned, as long as I know they're close by, I can definitely take care of myself. But I guess to preserve face, if you will, I would prefer to find this item without them.
Makes sense. What kind of item is it?
Like I mentioned, it was effectively a focus. My staff here does assist me a bit, but, to get a little more, oomph to my spells, to kill things more efficiently, if you will. One of those nasty things knocked it out of my hand while I was in the middle of casting. It fell into some underbrush, I believe. I didn't want to stay around as more of them showed up, and to my knowledge, they're not interested in magic items of that variety, so it should still be there.
Probably. Let's go find it quickly, then.
Excellent, thank you. All right, as you guys head on in, we'll go ahead and officially move on into this hex. We're in HS21 now, and as you're all looking around with Ada, you kind of come across the area that she described. There's various after we descend the mountain, the jungle immediately kicks back in. It's beginning to get dark. I would say it's leaning towards 8 o'clock by the time we traverse this mountain. After we have our conversation, begin to look around. She begins to guide you guys towards where she thinks it is, and she's kind of mumbling to herself and looking about and scratching at her neck and like, shoot, whew. It's getting, sun's going down, but it's still muggy as all hell in this damn jungle. And then she kind of looks about and goes like, no, not there. And she turns to your group and says, as she looks over the three of you and says, I think it'd be a little easier if we split up. This is really embarrassing to admit, but I know it's here in this general area. I don't know exactly where, though. I prefer to find it before it gets too dark. And then she turns to you, and she says, would you mind looking with me?
Can I?
Sure.
Foxes have decent sense of smells, right?
Yeah.
Can I transform into a fox, get a good whiff of her shirt or cape or something, and then go see if I can hunt down the smell that way?
Sure, yeah, definitely. And did you tell her you want to do this?
I'm fine with it, yeah.
I'm going to tell her, I'm going to try finding it by scent, but I'm just going to change. I'm going to hop over to her and take a big whiff.
Okay. As you hop toward her, she kind of takes a step back, like, whoa, what the hell? And she actually sees what you're doing and goes, oh, okay. She actually holds her staff out and says, this should suffice, yes?
Does it smell?
It does, yeah.
I will nod.
Okay.
And sniff it.
All right. As you take in the whiff, it's very faint. And you sniff at the air and I think I might know where it is. The jungle is all full of all sorts of nasty stank. But I'll go ahead and let you roll. We'll say just perception with advantage, and that'll help you with your nose perception skills. Okay.
Spicy.
First roll of the day. Let's go, baby.
Excellent. All right. You pick up two things, actually. You pick up her scent, and you pick up another scent, but you can't really place it. You think it's close by, but you're not really sure where it is. But other than that, you very much know that it probably, like, she's probably telling the truth. It looks like she kind of dragged around this general area and maybe looked before. Her scent isn't everywhere. That's not accurate, but it's probably to the south of here. And she's positing that her and Lekka go to the north. And you're not precisely sure where it is, but it should be relatively close by.
I'm gonna yip at my boys and then dart south to where the smell is.
Okay, she kind of smiles and turns to Aldrin and says, I'm assuming she can't speak in that form. You're going to follow her?
I guess so.
All right, don't let her get lost.
I will see.
I mean, if she's already found it, there's no point in splitting up, is there?
Well, I mean, did she find it? Do we know?
She seems pretty positive, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just yipped and ran off, right? Yeah, so you're already running, aren't you?
I'm already running.
Might as well check.
But my yip to them would have been, don't go too far, kind of tone. Like, this is slightly suspicious. Or, okay, sorry, the yip also would have expressed that there might be something else around here. So be cautious. It was a be cautious yip.
Fair enough. All right, so
Lekka's gonna ignore that. Because he doesn't understand fox.
Doesn't understand yipping. Yeah, she yipped so many times, it's like, I think I know what she was going to say, then she kept yipping and I lost it. So you dart off to the south. Aldrin, you follow in. Lekka, what are you doing seeing Aldrin make sure Sorry doesn't get lost?
Considering that she seems very intent on the fact that she found something, I'm just gonna follow her. Like, there's no point in splitting up.
Okay. And Ada kind of sighs and begins to follow your group. Sarabi, you said you're kind of bolting off down there to go grab it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am following her smell, right?
Yes, you very much are.
Okay.
Okay. And Aldrin, are you following her at like the same speed?
I mean, if she's not too fast, then yeah.
I'll pause to make sure they're still behind me.
Okay.
I'll have Daniel follow you at full speed.
Ooh.
And I'll instruct him that if you find it, just fly back and give it to her.
Excellent. And as Daniel goes to follow after Sarabi in fox mode, Aldrin, you begin to follow. Lekka, you're following with, and Ada's kind of like trundling along beside you, Lekka. The smell gets stronger and stronger for you, Sarabi. And you definitely know you're close. It's probably just around the corner. That second smell seems to have faded. It's just entirely gone. You smell other animals and other things around you, but we're focusing on the thing she dropped. And as you continue, you can hear Aldrin just behind you, catching up, and you know that Daniel has flown above you. Boy's pretty quick, doesn't need to worry too much about moving on through the jungle at too much speed. And I'd say it's probably a good like 100, 200, maybe 300 feet away from where we were. So it's a small hike to get there, and the jungle's fairly thick. But Sarabi, you're able to just, in your little fox form, just boop, 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 you're flying through the jungle. And of course, Daniel can very much do the same. Lekka, as you're walking with Ada, she's like, oh, please don't go too fast. I'm not exactly suited toward this. And she steps, or she's like trying to keep up with you guys. And Lekka, if you could go ahead and roll me dexterity. Dexterity save.
Check or save?
A save. Cool. Just behind you, Lekka, as you're sort of moving forward, you feel a grip on your shoulder. It is a much more firm grip than you were expecting. And the only person next to you is indeed Ada. Going back to Sarabi, the smell gets stronger and stronger as you finally come across the item that she dropped. You see the small, sort of pink orb that is just kind of shimmering, but just barely in the moonlight. As now we've gotten to this current location, Daniel's actually kind of just like hovering above you and waiting there, and he sees what you see. Just past that, though, you smell something else. As I mentioned, Sarabi, as you get closer and closer, the smell of whatever this is begin to grow pungent, sort of rotten and strong.
Like meat?
Like meat. And just past this item, you see a bush that's been heavily disturbed, and various sticks and things that have moved off to the side. And you notice these sticks and all these leaves are spattered with blood and gore, and just kind of hanging out just maybe a foot or so. You see a hand with dark skin and a ripped black glove.
Before I do anything, I'm going to pause.
Okay.
And listen. Like, do I hear any life?
So what precisely, which direction are you listening for? Forward?
In general, because I want to yip to get Aldrin's attention, but if there's an enemy nearby, I don't want to grab the enemy's attention either. So I just want to, listen for movement or something.
Okay. Aldrin's like right behind you, so he probably would, if you paused, he probably would have like caught up. He's a pretty beefy boy. He can get around. And upon pausing here, you're listening. And after Aldrin stops moving, because you can hear his like, you had taken your surroundings, and while you can hear far off animals and chirping and some things maybe swinging throughout the trees, there's nothing close by. But
all right, I will go ahead and move that bush to see who's been trying to hide.
Okay. Aldrin, you kind of move up as well. How are you in your fox form? Are you like grabbing it with your teeth?
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting in there. Aldrin, you basically move upon the image of Sarabi moving these sticks aside, and
oh, I will also yip at Aldrin to, help me.
Okay, did you help out, Aldrin?
I mean, I would try and help.
As the two of you begin to unearth this, the two of you very quickly find the bloody body of Ada.
Oh, good.
Oh, dear.
And then after that, you guys hear like a shout, and like something grabs onto you tightly. Very, very tightly. And they hold you still. You shout initially upon them grabbing onto you?
Assuming I don't get the chance to turn around or something?
You can very much turn. She's grabbing your shoulder, like really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'll basically turn around.
Okay, you turn around, and while you do see Ada, there's something wrong with her face in the moonlight. Her eyes look as if they've been glazed over, and her skin looks sweaty and pallid.
Is it like similar to the bloated guy on the ship?
Maybe the first stage of whatever that is, yes. It looks very similar.
Well, Lekka does not want to be near there, so he's gonna try to escape, I guess.
Alrighty. She
What
technically,
the hell are you?
She smiles and starts to pull you back away from where Sarabi and Aldrin are. I'd say however you want to escape this, but she does have you grappled effectively, so go ahead and roll to escape that.
I guess I'll try it with a... Which one was it? Gust?
I think so, yeah. Is that a strength save, or...?
It is a strength save, yeah.
Okay, so let me roll that from here. Do I need to be the 13, or...?
13, yes.
Alrighty. Well, I rolled an 11. That's a fail. Upon gripping onto your shoulder, she's knocked back 5 feet. Let me go ahead and move us all to a larger map real quick, make things a little bit easier.
I will use a sorcery point to also get the 10 feet of flight and fly into a tree, I guess. Because I don't get it for free because it's a cantrip.
And I have Lekka on the far right side, and I have Sarabi and Aldrin on the far left side. So you gust her away, and then you jolt yourself up like 10 feet
assuming
into a tree.
Assuming there's a tree nearby.
Oh, definitely,
that I can fly into.
Definitely, yeah, 100%.
All right, and then I'll just shout for the rest of the party.
You shout loudly for the rest of the party to join, and upon seeing this body, what do the two of you do?
I'm going to remember where it's at, but I'm going to run back to Lekka.
I want to do a quick peek around to make sure Ada's the only dead one.
From what you can tell, yes.
All right, and then I will charge towards... I'll follow the scent back to where Ada and Lekka are. Ada and Lekka.
I will say this, Lekka, it's difficult to tell by the moonlight, but her body as she's kind of moving towards you, you like jump up this tree. So she like started here. And with that, you sort of hear this deep, far too deep laughing coming from her. It's a little wet sounding as well. And her body begins to contort and crack. And you see her flesh ripping open as her eyes begin to kind of push to the side of her head. And her mouth, her nose, everything begins to contort. You can just hear everything snapping and cracking into place. Go ahead and roll me for initiative, Mr. Aldrin. Alrighty. We shall, indeed. Well, technically it would have done something. Let's see. I'd say it would have responded as you basically yeet them backwards. Still in her, like, half-human form, her hands begin to blaze. And as you see fire kind of growing and growing and beginning to accumulate around her hand, her flesh is, like, being torn off and melting away, revealing this dark, oddly bumpy, like pallid skin, and she hurls this ball of fire at you. It skims by, but still grazes against your flesh, and we shall begin combat proper as Mr. Aldrin. You're up first.
I'm just gonna start running.
Start running, my dude. You are very much able to do so. All right.
Damn, how far away are you guys?
About 200 feet.
It's very
I
far.
just ran 60.
Yeah. Approximately. How far can your clone be away from you again?
30.
Okay. Did you want to summon him or do anything as we're popping in here?
I mean, I can summon him 30 feet away.
Where you are, for reference, Aldrin, this is all jungle. There's no giant open area here. So pretend like there's trees everywhere. We're just using this for like general reference. So everyone knows there are rocks everywhere. There's jungle everywhere. There's vines. There's all this crazy shit. The whole jungle is open and available to you guys. So that's kind of what's going on. Looking towards you, Lekka, the creature, the being, whatever they are in front of you, they'll sort of begin to chant, and your head begins to swim as you begin to see visions.
You fool. You think I'm going to go towards you.
Alrighty, I know, right? And as this creature, whoever it is, begins to chant, you begin to hear thunder all around you, Lekka. But as you turn and focus to the south, you see just like wind and lightning and thunder just pulsing from this being as you see her flesh just begin to slowly tear away. So the way this sphere specifically works, since they're all fun and different, while frightened by the spell, the creature must take the dash action and move away from you by the safest available route, so you don't have to jump out of the tree, unless there's nowhere to move. If the creature ends their turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight of you, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw. On success, it will end.
Okay.
So it'll just move a little bit closer as it looks up this tree, and it is your turn, my friend.
I have to dash, or do I have to just get away from it?
You must take the dash action. So you have to move 60 feet away. So technically 10 feet down, and then 50 feet in whatever direction you want to go to, but away from this creature, whatever it is.
Why would I climb down a tree?
How are you?
I have Featherfall.
Okay.
It's a reaction.
Okay.
And since it also gives me, it is a spell of first level, so I can actually use my tempestuous magic without a sorcery point as well, as far away as I can.
And we'll say there's indeed a tree there, so you can go ahead and make another wisdom save, I believe it is. Wisdom, yeah.
What is hiding, by the way? Is that a bonus action?
So you don't need to be hiding, you just need to break line of sight.
Yeah, but more so if I want to take the hide action as well. Or like
hide is an action, I believe.
Behind a tree or something. Is it?
Hide is an action, yeah. Yeah, it's full on action.
Too bad. Oh, that makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're a sneaky boy.
What are taking cover? Is that just movement based? Or?
Taking cover is effectively movement based, yeah. So you'd easily have 3/4 cover behind this.
Just to make sure, because
actually,
I want to be behind a tree, basically.
Yeah, you don't have you have full cover because you have to completely break line of sight, so I cannot target you with anything ranged. You ran far enough that you're basically safe.
Then I will. Was it a wisdom save?
Correct, wisdom save. All right, unfortunately, you were unable to break it. You still hear the thunder and crackling all around you.
Can we hear it in the distance?
Only like again.
How far away is Daniel at this point?
Daniel would be... I don't believe he can take actions. He would have been next to Sarabi, and he can move
fly pretty fast down.
60 feet, right? Like that?
Yeah.
He'd be right there.
So how far away does it make him from me?
Directly from you, he is 75 feet away from you.
No, that's fine. I guess I'll, in general, tell him to follow and help Eldrin with my mental commands.
All right, sounds good. All right, Sarabi.
I was going to stay in case I needed to sniff them out. Do I know where they are?
I would say upon hearing the shout, you know where they came from. So unless they went somewhere weird, knowing where the shout came from, it sounds like exactly where they were.
I'll shift when we're a bit closer and can see them. So I'll just run.
You guys end up in a wonderfully perfect line. All right, Aldrin, you see the fox run past you.
Gonna make my boy run 30 feet, and then
Okay.
Lekka is screaming this entire time, by the way. You can actually follow the screaming.
Very much so, yes.
Just swap with them, which takes 15 feet
Okay.
of movement. Bonus action. My dash is gonna run towards the screaming.
Okay. Does your clone dissipate if you're too far from it, or I forgot how that worked?
Yes, but it's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so he goes poof?
Yeah.
Considering you played hopscotch with him, I think that's okay. That's cool.
That's what he gets.
All right, you begin to run to Lekka, and you see him cowering behind the back of a tree. You're not really sure what he's scared of precisely until you gaze to your right, Aldrin, and you can hear and see something pushing through the jungle. It's no longer Ada. Whatever this creature is, it's large, green, slimy. It's still holding her staff, but it's crackling with this dark energy. And you can just hear it just cackling in the distance. It's looking for its prey, and you're not sure if you can sense where he is or what. But as it looks towards you, you hear more chanting in a foreign language.
Oh, good.
And it focuses on the spot between the two of you and lets off heat. Immeasurable. All right, as a fireball erupts in front of both of you. Aldrin, you succeed. Lekka, you fail. Remember, you can use inspiration to reroll these if you wish. It's up to you.
Meh, I think I'll just die.
Guess I'll die. Alrighty. Oh god, you bleed pink. You kept that?
Yeah.
Monokuma. All right. Sarabi, you from the distance see this explosion of fire, and it engulfs both Aldrin and Lekka. And the heat begins to burn everything around you as you continue to hear this creature cackling in the darkness. Lekka, go ahead and make me a save, my friend.
No, right. Aldrin just sees Lekka flop out of the tree, half burned.
Alrighty. Sarabi. So I will say while you are knocked out, Daniel still wants to fly toward you. Alrighty. Sarabi jolts in and spearing between the trees. She's able to revive her companion with a max healing word. Aldrin, ball's back in your court.
Max?
She heals me as I fall from the tree, and I take 8 falling damage.
Alright. His body was like hanging slowly, and he just kind of like just lands on his neck. Critically falls.
Sorry.
You okay, Lekka? Having a good time? I see. I understand.
I give a thumbs up as I make that sound.
Oh, it's Robbie's too far away. Fortunate.
Alrighty, a gentle reminder, you can indeed see this being, Aldrin. If you guys want any general information on something, it's not an action or a bonus action. You can just roll and ask, like, have I seen this before? Do I know what this is? Etc., etc. So,
I'm going to use my flexible aura to make this a 60-foot range,
okay, excellent.
so everyone can have it.
Nice. And that gives them a plus D4 to one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw?
Roll. Yeah, per turn.
Very cool. One per turn. All right, very nice.
As long as they're within 60 feet. Someone else that also has it. And that's an action, so I will just bonus action summon my boy again.
Means
Do
you're
we
getting...
get to make a save for the fear then as well?
Yeah, go ahead and roll wisdom, actually. I don't know. Okay, that unfortunately is also a fail.
My fear has been emboldened by the fireball.
All right, so you summoned your boy, Aldrin?
Yeah, and I'm going to get away from Lekka so it doesn't throw a fireball at both of us again. Like, I don't know, if there's a tree or something like over here. Hide a tree.
Sounds like a plan. I like that.
Yeah,
all right.
That's all I got.
Okay, are you taking full cover behind the tree?
I mean, if I can, yeah.
I'll say with you, it's probably like 3/4 cover because you are larger than Lekka. But Lekka can very much take. Yeah, Lekka can very much take full cover.
I also have the shadowed thing on my staff, so.
Right, yeah. So as the creature sees that, it continues cackling as it moves forward. I'll say as it sees you, it gazes over to Lekka, and I'd say it probably can't see exactly who you are due to all the trees and such. It does indeed see Aldrin.
I mean, I am prone right now, so.
Yeah. Basically, you're out oot and a boot. It look towards you, and you see another flame begin to form in its hand, Aldrin, as it hurls heat towards you. Unfortunately, this misses as well, but it grazes up against the side of the tree. You can hear a burning. All right,
See, this guy should stick to AoE spells.
Lecca.
Do I have to continue running?
Yes, every time you are feared, you can only run.
Well, I'm going to have to take 15 feet to stand up anyway.
Mhm.
And then I'll have to dash, I guess.
Nice blood splat.
Well, you're
Otherwise,
barely
I'm
within
just-
range of Sarabi.
I mean, I'm scared of the thing. I'm not going to run.
I'm saying you're in range, so you get the extra D4 when you do roll it.
This is true. Wait, wouldn't I have gotten it last time as well, then? I mean, that's... well, it doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it would have worked, but yeah.
Yes, if it was from Sarabi, roll me a d4, yeah. 'Cause you were in range of that.
I mean, it wouldn't have helped anyway, because at best it's a 12.
Roll and find out. Okay, that would have been enough. All right, scratch that. You can just take a regular action.
You get your turn.
You get your turn, yeah. Good call, Aldrin.
A slightly crisp Lekka stands up, looks at the guy.
The guy hears you get up. He's like, oh, you're not dead. Mm.
And Lekka is forced to open his spellbook now, which is also slightly burnt to a crisp, actually.
No.
It's fine. It's magic, so it doesn't get destroyed, I think, right?
Correct, yes. You blast this creature with cold, and
Holy
it is
shit.
it is this. It rolls a crit
No.
You little
And-
shit.
and very much says no to that. And you can tell it is barely scathed by your attack. Like it almost didn't even like notice.
Well, I will use my tempestuous magic to fly back 10 feet in the tree behind it specifically.
Sure thing. Are you putting advantage on the creature?
Yes.
So Daniel, I flutter in the face of this thing as it kind of like scoffs at it, and then Daniel flies off. All right, so Robbie.
All right, I'm going to bonus action Path of the Grave.
Okay. So there it is.
Oh, it has to be within 30 feet. Hang on. Yeah, I can curse it. The next time I will hit it, since it's bonus action, it's vulnerable to all that attacks damage.
I guess the selfish spell. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the bonus action is selfish.
Yeah.
I have to use it as a whole action for anything else. Yeah, I don't think it has uses.
I can change Path of the Grave to have one use. It's a limited.
Remove the advantage from the...
Holy
because
mother of
I think
God.
I think only
Crit
elders
double
get
damage.
All right.
speaking of flying away.
That's
Yes.
44 damage.
Speaking of just go ahead and chaining advantage, excellent. You strike this son of a bitch with your guiding bolt. Let me double check something.
Why is it
Excellent.
44?
Because you double it with the skill you just used.
Yeah.
Oh, I made it vulnerable?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Path of the Grave does.
yeah. You make him vulnerable to radiant damage. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
mhm.
So it's double and
yeah.
you crit.
Not only did you crit, but it's also going to do double damage.
I mean, Daniel's getting all the glory for this one. He's gave the crit.
It's not looking your way, Sarabi. In fact, it's looking at Daniel, very annoyed. And as it does, you're able to strike it amongst its flank side after opening the path to the grave, dealing 44 points of radiant damage to this beast. And unlike the ice damage, it seems very perturbed by this. It's not weak to it, but it seems very, very perturbed by the general strike. But at the same time, it is not bloodied, and it looks about and seems more annoyed than damaged. And it looks towards you, Sarabi. Gripping,
It's not undead, right?
not undead. Does not look undead to you. No.
Do we know what it look? Does it look familiar? Have you seen it before?
You've never seen this before. Like I said, you guys can ask questions. If you want to roll something to see like what it is, you're more than welcome to do so. Or like maybe like what vibe you're getting from it. Or if you want to ask me a question, you can do that. So have you seen this before? Meta question for all three of you. None of you know what the hell this thing is. Ever. You've never seen this in a book or anything.
The only thing I would have said is that it looks like the thing on the ship before it turned into this.
So this, it's still kind of sweaty and like nasty and like wet looking. It's beginning to take on a very toad-like appearance as its face kind of pushes out. Her skin is completely just sloughed off and just torn, and it is doubled in size since you guys first saw her. And it's smiling, just ear to ear, with this jagged teeth, jagged fangs, claws, talons, everything. There's like bone protrusions coming out of its back and its head. You've definitely never seen anything like this before.
Okay.
All right, Eldrin, what you got, bud?
I believe everyone's within 30 feet now.
Yep.
I can bless everybody. Get that bless.
Bless this mess. Beautiful.
And then I'm just gonna move my clone here.
Okay.
Just try to distract. Actually, it can go all the way around. Try to be a distraction. I'm just gonna sit here until I can do something else next turn.
Alrighty. Most excellent. And the creature will see this thing in front of it and kind of just like give it a look of like, ugh.
We're all just glowing constantly now.
All right.
It doesn't stop.
As you see this thing begin to kind of shake itself off from that spell from you, Sarabi, you can tell that it's kind of cracking things back into place, and it's attempting to reconstitute itself.
What do you mean by that?
It's healing.
Like naturally with no spells?
Correct.
How dare?
How friggin' dare. All right, and then the creature, the thing in front of it, not entirely sure what it is, but not feeling this, so it's going to lash out with its fangs and attempt to take a big chunk out of your boy.
It's dead. Oh no. My boy.
As he sinks his teeth into your boy, he kind of like looks around like, what? Okay. And seeing you around the corner, he's like, well, that came from you.
But I didn't mean it.
So he will do the same, except this time he'll lash out with his claw.
I have advantage.
Yes, you do. Roll again.
There we go.
All right, we're still concentrating. We got a 15, baby! Excellent. And he continues to cackle as he looks down upon you. Lekka.
Is this creature person enough to be a person?
Are you asking if it's a humanoid?
Yeah.
No.
Damn it. So at first I'm going to try to shoot it with my ball lightning. There it is.
More like lightning. Here.
Also a crit. Those are some low rolls now.
Sad crit.
Unfortunately, that is indeed a very sad crit. But
Yeah,
alongside that, as you strike the creature in the back, it seems to pay the lightning no mind. If anything, you see the lightning wash across its back, almost as if he wasn't struck at all. He is damaged by it, but just barely.
Damn it. It doesn't like ice. It doesn't like lightning. Try something else. Daniel, give Eldrin advantage on the thingy again.
All right. So, Robbie, I'm going to put this on you to denote that you are undercover, just so we remember.
All right.
You're trying to bane him?
Yep.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, the lad does indeed succeed. And he seems strangely resilient to magical effects. Reminder, Sarabi, you do have that new spell that's a bonus action.
Yeah, casting it in the first place is an action.
What spell?
Spiritual weapon.
It says bonus action.
It's a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
That's a bonus action.
To cast the weapon in the first place?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't cast 2 leveled spells, but
Right, yeah, so you can't do it now, but had you used a cantrip instead, you're more than welcome to. So in the future, just letting you know.
I figured
Yeah.
Bane would be more useful.
Could be, yeah. I will say he just barely
I mean,
succeeded.
it is.
it is. He just,
Yes,
succeeded.
he's very resilient to magical attacks, you can tell.
If he was
First he
already
did.
baned, he would have been fine.
Yeah, no, right?
The downside of Bane.
Yeah, basically. All right,
Like
turn,
it's
Serby?
done.
All right, Aldrin, this thing is facing you. What do you do?
I want it to not.
You do have advantage at least. So.
I know, but I need to heal myself.
Healing is overrated.
Okay, I guess I'll die.
I mean, I did.
I'm
True.
fine. I've already died. I'm
Yeah.
fine. It wasn't that bad.
Bonus action, summon my boy over here. Use half my
You can
movement
summon it
to
3 times.
Swap, yeah.
swap. It's just a bonus action. There's no limit on how often I can summon him.
The limit's the attack, right?
Nice.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
limit on how many times I can use him as like an extra attack.
That makes sense.
And then I'm going to heal myself because I don't want to die.
This is fair. Excellent. You feel refreshed, my friend. All right, and again, you see this thing's wounds beginning to stitch itself closed. And again, he will lash out towards the creature thing. He's not really entirely sure in front of it. With a swing down. He turns. Well, you warped somewhere out of distance. He didn't really see where you went, Aldrin. So he's going to run over to Sarabi. With claws extended, he will slash at you. Lekka, you see this creature rush towards Sarabi and rake his claws across her twice. She's able to block both. What do you do?
I'm going to give myself advantage with Daniel.
Okay, he already has it.
Oh, wait, he already has it? Never mind.
Mhm.
I'm first going to shoot it with my crossbow.
Just go and roll again. There you go. Nice. All right. Ooh, that was fancy looking. All right, you strike him in the back. And I will say this does indeed seem more effective. He's not resistant to physical attacks. Strikes him in the back and he kind of like, as he kind of looks around and see where that came from.
Yeah. And Daniel will just give a help action again.
All right, Sarabi.
And I'll continue hiding.
You know, he picked on you because you're small, right?
Wow.
All right, he actually fails the save, and we fix this to make sure it actually rolls a d12 as it's supposed to. And as this bell rings out, you can hear him kind of cry out in pain. And All right, you summon your spiritual weapon. I can actually give you a spiritual weapon to fly around. What do you want your spiritual weapon to look like?
I mean, I'm carrying around a yokowa, so do you have like a spear or something?
For 1d8 force damage.
Force, baby. All right, let's see. I have a mace, I have a maul, I have a scythe, I have a sword, and a flaming sword.
I'll do the scythe.
All right, what color scythe do you want? Blue, green, orange, purple, or red?
Purple.
Purple it is, baby.
I mean,
Look at it.
Considering what kind of cleric you are, technically you can also do something else.
Ain't that cool?
You could slap them with the sex book, technically.
Now you should be able to move it just fine. I'm going to rename it to spiritual weapon. And if you want to add an attack to it to be the 1d8 plus whatever, you can do that. Do you wish to move? Or are you going to stand in front of him?
I would like to move.
There's trees everywhere. And I will say he's not bloody, so he doesn't have a reaction as of current.
Hiding behind a rock sounds like a good idea.
That indeed sounds like a pretty safe idea, yes. All right, Aldrin, your friend summons a weapon. It's wriggling about and doing its thing. She belled him. What you got?
Oh, I am not on death's door anymore. I'm gonna run in, summon my boy for the millionth time.
If you can draw a line, so if you summon him like here, it depends on how you would do it, of course. If you summon him across, then that would be considered flanking, give you +2.
Okay. And then I will give him a boppin'.
We're on a bop down.
Big smackaroo.
All right, you were able to indeed strike the enemy with your mace. And he kind of sneers. You smack against him.
I'll do an extra one.
All right.
My other boy.
From the lad?
Okay, never mind.
All right, unfortunately, that one indeed critically misses. He strikes at the sand. He was just born, so he's trying to kind of figure things out. Oh, that sounds so cool. Unleash incarnation.
There we go.
All right, frustrated as to everything that is indeed currently going on. Yes.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Can I give Aldrin an advantage with my unlucky?
Read me how it works.
Whenever an ally you can see makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can spend 1 bad luck to give them advantage on the d20 roll.
Sure.
In Return Hub, you can impose disadvantage on a d20 roll I make, or advantage on a roll made against me within the next 20 minutes.
Oh, I get to pick randomly. Sweet. All right, Aldrin, go ahead to re-roll that spirit smack. By the way, your dude should have a mace on him if you want to swing from him.
Oh, it's just the same stats, so I've been just using mine.
That's perfectly fine. All right, striking this thing in the back. This time you do indeed hit as Sarabi shares her wonderful good luck with you. And it just kind of slowly ekes out of her. Upon crashing against his back, one of the bones kind of split and fragment. You hear it howl. And with this, as it begins to look at each of you, Lekka, when you end your turn, did you have full cover, or were you kind of like peeking out and looking at them to make sure everybody's like where they are?
I'll probably have 3/4 cover.
Okay.
I'm still watching it, yeah.
Sure. Everybody roll me a wisdom save. We need to beat an 11. Holy mother of God.
Yeah, that's not how...
Why did it roll a 1d40? Oh, wait.
Adding a d40, 50 million for the beta.
It was the ad cover. We'll do the normal math.
I'll add my extra d4 onto mine.
There. So you're good. So you rolled, you got a 12, so you're good, Aldrin. Sarabi, regardless of what your d4 is, you rolled a 12, so you were fine.
Oh, wait, no, actually, because I have a +2 as well.
Lekka, take your 7 and then roll 2 more d4s because you get your d4 from Blessed and then d4 from Aldrin.
Oh, okay.
I live to stack
There's also
bonuses.
a +2 from my wisdom stat itself.
Yes, so 9. So 7, 2, so bring 9 plus 4. You're good. You didn't need the Bless or the hoo-ha from Aldrin. All right. So he howls into the night, and you can feel his voice sort of warble. It's almost like a cacophony of multiple voices. And it's wet, it's sticky. And sitting in front of him, Aldrin, you can sort of see his teeth kind of like gyrate in his mouth. And so you can see something deep within his throat kind of like elating. It's like... And he gets like spittle all over you as he just like roars at you. The three of you are able to save this roll, whatever the hell he was trying to do. And he kind of looks around and he like sneers. And you can tell he's primarily focused on Sarabi and Lekka. With your current positioning, Lekka, he's not entirely sure where you are, we'll say. So he will actually like bound over you, Aldrin, as he doesn't really seem interested in you for whatever reason, and he runs back over to Sarabi.
I'm gonna smack him then.
Go for it.
A whack a smack.
All right, you're able to just barely graze him as he passes by. And then to you, Sarabi, he'll bare his fangs at you and attempt to sink them into your flesh. He'll then spin the staff that he has as it crackles with necrotic energy and attempt to strike you 2 times.
Okay, bye, Sarabi.
Alrighty, actually...
The second one shouldn't have had advantage, right?
Correct. The second one should not have had advantage. All right, the first one would have missed. The second one actually would have only rolled an 8. Your AC is actually higher than that. All right, it's only half. It's only 6. So he actually misses you both times. You're able to kind of like block and then just barely block the second one as he's like heaving, like looking towards you, Sarabi. Lecca. He looks excited as you're growing weaker and weaker.
Of course he is.
Like he's resistant to magical damage, but not magical effects, right? Because I did hit him with Gust.
Correct. Yeah. So the Gust asked for a strength save, and he didn't seem resistant to that.
Nah, that makes sense.
But so far, most magic damage. Not radiant. He wasn't resistant to radiant. But specifically cold and lightning so far.
I guess I'm gonna have to climb down this tree. Does climbing down count as rough terrain, alright?
Technically, yeah. I mean, how high were you up in the tree? If you want, you can just be behind it. Yeah, you can just be behind it if you want and have like cover. You're fine behind it. You're small enough that you could easily hide behind some rocks and such.
Extra small boy.
Yeah, you're really tiny.
I'll hide behind Eldrin, actually.
I was going to move, so that's not going to last long.
That's fine, I'll stand here.
Temporary cover.
I'm gonna try to gust of wind it away, I guess.
Alrighty. He indeed does fail this. That will knock him back 15 feet away in the direction.
I think so, yes.
Alright. So he'll slide 15 feet away from you, Sarabi, as a gust of wind bursts forth from Lecca. And he tries as he might to hold on, but he's unable to do so.
Daniel, give another help action.
Alright.
Squawk.
Alright, Sarabi. Now, reading the way your spiritual weapon works, you can still do your thing. It's already out, so you're not casting a spell. As a bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet to repeat the attack. So it has regular melee range.
Yeah, that's my bonus action, though. And it doesn't cost a spell slot, right?
It's not a spell. No. So as it's out, it literally just moves around just whacking things.
Basically, summoning it costs a spell slot. That's about it.
Correct.
All right, I will still do Guiding Bolt.
All right, consider that bolt guided. Oh, how cute. There's an animation for it. All right, you strike against him. And while advantage is indeed peeled off him, well, guess what? You just add more advantage.
That's not close enough to hit him, right?
It is not. No, it's 5 feet off.
It can only move 20 feet.
I still say she should make it a book. Specifically the Book of Sax.
I might be able to find a flying book. If you can find me like a GIF or a book that you want it to be, go for it. I like the animated weapons, but I might have a book somewhere. I have a lot of little animated GIFs. Ugh. All right, Aldrin.
Well, I had a plan, but now he's far away.
All right, and you used Gust of Wind. The timing is weird. So it's when you cast it. Each creature that starts their turn. Okay, so wait, hold up. He's actually here.
Yes.
He hasn't got knocked back yet.
Oh.
So spiritual weapon could have spiritual weapon could have hit him then. So quick, Sarabi, you roll to attack with your spiritual weapon. It's at the start of my turn I get knocked back. It's probably just called new weapon, yeah. So go ahead and ignore that. But that will indeed strike. All right, and then you can do your turn, Aldrin.
My boy would have been here, right?
I believe so.
I think. Because, he was in between us.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing right here.
This blood oh my god, I'm actually keeping track of the tokens with his blood splats.
We'll run over here and make my boy run over here. It's fine if he gets knocked back.
Yeah, well, it's at the start of his turn, so yeah, it's fine.
And I will give him a good old smacking.
Smack number 1 succeeds. The creature howls out in pain.
I'll make my boy smack him too.
All right, and again, another howl of pain.
And then I will action surge and smack him again.
Oh my god. All right. Smack. Holy shit.
This guy.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, okay.
How are we doing this?
At this point, I'm just mad. I'm just going to hit him in the head, and I'm going to hit him in the head again. I'm going to hit him in the head again until his brains are just leaking out of his head.
Hell yeah.
He has brain.
Beautiful.
His body away.
Excellent. You just beat this dude's head in until his face just collapses. Just gray matter and shit is just oozing out of his eyes. His jaw breaks. Everything just crumples down into itself. And wind just like on a ragdolls his corpse away from where you guys are and leaves this blood stain as you take one more swing at the air, Aldrin, just right in front of where he was, and his body like, smacks into a tree very wetly.
That's what he gets.
All right, I was not expecting that. Very nice.
All the smack.
All right.
That was basically everything I have, but
It is 8. The jungle is silent. any creatures that were nearby would most likely run away.
I'm gonna keep blowing it into the tree for a while.
He's indeed ragdolling into a corner.
Do we want its corpse?
Oh,
I want to know what the hell it is, but that's about it.
yeah, maybe. It is dangerous. Why? Who's going to carry it?
Don't look at me. Don't do it.
I mean, Tensor's floating disc.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to recast it all the time, but yeah.
I
Assuming
mean, it's a 5-minute ritual for me, and it lasts for an hour, so it's fine.
All right, well, are you saying we're going to head back to camp?
No, we're gonna search around for a bit because apparently someone died here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. We found the real Ada.
Yes, also I'm gonna loot Ada's corpse. Because she's a wizard. She probably has a book.
Probably.
I'm gonna look around for that thing.
Alrighty.
Are we going to go straight back to Ada's corpse, or do you want me to do a prayer of healing first?
Probably for the best. Since we're all kinda,
Pain.
we can do that as we walk to her corpse, I guess.
I will use my Pearl of Power. I'll just start dragging this disgusting thing around.
No, I'll just use my Tensor's floating disc, it's fine. Like, we're dragging everything to her corpse and then looking at everything at the same time.
I do want to look at its staff, though, to see if it was, like, special or just, like, a spellcasting focus.
She probably stole it from the corpse, so yeah. I'll identify everything.
Alrighty. You can tell that the item she was messing with, that was just her spellcasting focus. It was just something that she needed. It wasn't anything too entirely crazy. In terms of what she has on her,
If no one wants it, I want it. It's shiny and pink.
so there's a few things we find on her. One of them seems to be a thick glass lens that's about 4 inches in diameter with a scaled mithril handle. I assume you're like identifying everything, like looking closer?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just throwing everything on a pile and identifying it, I guess. Not like I have anything better to do.
Yeah, I would say while tinkering with it, you kind of move it around and you look through it because it is indeed a lens. And you can see upon gazing through it that, as a reminder, it's 8 o'clock, it's night, the moon's out, and it's only getting later. So while it's relatively dark, upon looking through this lens, the only illumination is from the moon, but you kind of pull it up to your eye, put it down, pull it back up to your eye, and put it back down, you go, what the shit? You can see these like weird long glowing things that are moving along the jungle floor. You get a little closer and you realize they're bugs. Looking at any bug through this glass lens causes them to become illuminated. They glow. Like, obviously glow. Kind of like, I'm trying to think like the Detective Vision in Batman in the Arkham games.
Right.
It's very much like that. Like, it is almost obnoxiously obvious. They glow very brightly. And you look across kind of the jungle and you can see all these like little glowing dots and bugs and shit all throughout the jungle.
I found wall hacks.
Yeah. And as you kind of look to the side, you see and you can hear it kind of like zzz, 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 it flies away. And you could tell that it was one of those bugs that y'all ran into from before. It's not flying towards you guys, it's flying away, but you can see it like plain as day. It was impossible to see with just your eyes.
It's throwing that thing to Aldrin.
Yeah, it's trying to hide, but you can see it easily with this thing.
Hey, Aldrin,
Huh?
take this.
What?
Put it in front of your eyes.
Okay. I
Now
will
look
do that.
around.
As you look around, you can see the same thing. Any bug that's in the dark, you're not sure what you see at first. You see like glowing spots, but upon closer inspection, you can just like see it's like a bug radar, basically.
Oh, good.
It's bug-guggles. Now you'll never get
Buggles?
bug-guggles, yes.
We can make
Now
like
you'll never get approached by flying, smelly bugs again.
glasses out of these or something.
Upon
Monocle. Suits your background.
yeah, and then one more. It does something else actually. Upon closer inspection, we'll kind of feeling out the magics and whatnot. If you can pair this with a strong enough light source, the lens can emit a heat beam of bug death, able to vaporize any bug up to the size of a human hand in about 10 seconds.
We can try that. Hey, Sarabi, don't you have like light spells?
Are
You
they
do.
bright enough? We can test.
We can test.
Where's a
Right?
small bug? Oh, I'm gonna go grab a small bug.
Okay, you're able to find a beetle.
I'm just gonna like trap him in like a stick fort or something.
Sure, you erect a stick for it. It attempts to escape, but with your night vision, it cannot do so. And Sarabi, you do have your produce flame spell, so that does indeed produce light.
I
Okay.
murder it, Sarabi. Kill the beetle.
Who's holding the death laser?
I can hold on to it.
Okay.
I'll shine light into it.
Oh god, you guys are monsters.
Hey, we have to test it. It's just
Very
science.
Everyone got my 10 heal, right?
No, Lekka's writing this down. It's science.
Your what heal?
My 10
Oh,
heal?
the heal for 10.
Yeah.
I don't
No, I
believe it.
didn't.
Yeah, you guys haven't. Go ahead and give yourself 10 healing. Already, upon positioning this thing above the beetle, it starts to kind of like skitter around a little bit. And after you summon your little fireball, it takes a second or two. And rather than it exploding in 10 seconds, after you kind of focus the flame and the light above this little like module, it takes like 1-2 seconds, and the bug just like poof, it just like pops, and there's like a little sizzle, like, and you can see just like fire kind of burning, and then just like and fizzes out.
For like 5-year-olds.
Who would like to hold on to this?
I think Aldrin hates bugs more than me right now.
Yes.
I mean, I can't really use it on my own, but sure.
I mean, you can just use it for the bug vision, right?
Yeah, bug vision.
True.
Like if we ever need to destroy a bug with it, we'll know where it is.
Just don't wander too far from me.
You can very much tell it's supposed to be used with the sun, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I added the bug blaster to your inventory.
Oh, perfect.
It's a scouter with a built-in bug detection system.
The bug scouter.
Aldrin, what does the scouter say about its power level? It's over 9.
It's over 9.
It's a bug.
I mean, there's still bugs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, Cell was also a bug. Adant also showed us a stone of sending.
Yes.
Was that actually real, or?
Upon closer inspection, it actually is a sending stone that you know connects to her main group. So,
I guess we're gonna have to inform them, assuming they pick up that Ada's dead.
Oh, I definitely want to contact them.
So one thing that you find on her body is a potion. It's level 2. Who would like to hold on to that?
Elzra has the most health, right?
I have 34.
Yeah, she can have it.
Okay.
Because a level 2 probably heals for a decent amount.
Upon viewing her staff closer, you can actually tell that it definitely has some special properties to it. You kind of tinker with it a bit, and you can see that it actually does currently, at least, have a spell stored within it. And that spell would be Fireball. But you can tell it can only be used once per day. If you want, you can take any spell that's up to level 3, and you can replace it. It'll take some focus, it'll take a little bit of time, but if you wanted to, you could basically pull out the Fireball spell and replace it with another one. Whatever spell it is, let me use one time per day. But it's basically a staff that can store a spell, and you get a nice close look at it, and you notice that the wood seems aged, but not in a way that it's deteriorating. It just looks really well loved. And it looks older than something that she would have on her, like much older. It's very ornately carved, and it kind of swoops up into a snake and has very intricate scales carved into it. And the the hood, I believe it's called, of a snake, where it flares out.
Yeah.
I believe it's called a hood, yeah.
Cowl?
Cowl, yeah. I forgot what the official name of it is. So basically the snake's cowl, its hood, is flared outward, and it seems to be grasping one of those red gems that you guys found, one of the red crystals in its mouth, very tightly.
Interesting.
So whoever would like to hold on to that,
I already have a staff. Who wants to learn Fireball?
whatever you want to do with
Somebody
it.
say fireball.
Realistically, it is indeed a staff
Yes,
fireball.
the staff has Fireball inside it. So I
That's
think she
pretty
already
cool.
used it. Wait, did she? No.
It's currently expended, but you do know by the time, if someone is attuned to it and the day rolls over, it should come back.
That would definitely be useful for us to use instead of selling. I don't really care who uses it.
You can also put a different 3rd level spell in it. Looks like
Yeah,
it.
it is one time a year.
Lekka has like in-depth knowledge of the meta knowledge of leveled spells, but you know,
Since it's fire, I'll take it.
sure. You can also
Alright.
put different things in it, by the way.
Okay. So her friends aren't going to be very happy that we looted her body, are they?
Probably not.
They don't need to know that.
I'm sure the staff is heirloom.
We found her with nothing on her.
Not even her spellbook. Oh. Speaking of,
She does still have her spellbook on her, yes.
yes, I'm definitely looting that. Give it to me. I'm gonna check what's inside it.
Sure thing.
Steal all her spells.
How long is it?
A quarterstaff is like 4 feet.
I think that, yeah, 4 or 5 feet.
All right. Well, they're going to know I took it.
I mean, it's
I
fairly
mean,
obvious.
considering that it looks like a very specific snake thing with a bright red gem in it, yes.
Maybe I'll just stick the top in my backpack and they'll never notice it from the bottom.
Assuming she has nothing else on her.
She has a little bit of gold on her. She had, let me say, 250 gold on her.
Oh, that's quite a bit, actually.
Each of you can go ahead and
don't
add...
divvy it up yet, unless
yes.
they want to, unless they want it back or something.
Yeah, so if you want to put a note that you guys have like 250 gold floating. All right, you guys wanted to poke at the thing that you just killed.
Definitely.
All right, what do you want to know about it?
I want to kick it.
All right, it's kicked.
Okay, that's your bonus action. What else? Does identify work on magical creatures to identify what it technically is, right? Or if it has any innate magic, that's about it?
Oh, it very much has innate magic. You do know that its magic was internal, so it was innately casting these spells. Just because it is a magical creature. It is not of this plane, though. You know that much. Its body fully revealed now, because you guys indeed have your little spectral light. You can kind of hover around it. You guys haven't seen anything like this before at all. It is incredibly grotesque looking. I did mention that you brought up the creature was indeed healing itself. And this is also a natural just aspect of its body. It wasn't a spell, wasn't anything weird. It just does that.
Does it have any other innate magics?
I say, besides being annoyingly resilient to magical effects, not really.
Did it have any magical tools on it?
No.
The icon has a nice staff, but...
Yes, the staff itself seems to be like crackling. Like, I mean, basically after you smacked it and then knocked it against the wall, it seems it was powering the staff with like whatever magics were flowing through it, and it was basically whacking you with that magic.
Well, do we want to bring it with us?
I mean, we can for now.
We are pretty far away from pretty much anything at this point, so...
You very much are. This thing is heavy. It's huge. In terms of size, it's large.
How heavy is it?
Yeah, because there's a weight limit on Tensor's disc.
Yeah, it's 500 pounds.
You can fit in this.
I can bring it with us. It would probably slow us down a bit because I need to recast it every 5 minutes, every hour, which is 5 minutes of time.
It's a 5-minute break every hour. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's not terrible.
Is there anything specific you guys want to know about it, besides like its magical qualities, maybe physical or anything along those nature?
Not a lizard, right?
No, it's very frog-like.
It looks like more toad-like.
Oh, can I draw it?
Any secretions?
Besides all the brain matter, it was secreting some like film around its skin, yeah?
I wonder how that happened.
Did that have any, I don't know, innate magical effects or something? Was that the reason why it was innately resistant to magic, or?
I won't say the slime was the reason, but that's definitely part of it. It's just its general physical nature. Yeah.
If it's like otherworldly in nature, then definitely. So we know that they wanted to meet up at the Hydra, right? The sending stone can only be used once a day, right?
Yes.
Yes. Then
Has it been used?
No, this one's not been used.
Check. Sarabi, do the honors to deliver the bad news.
Okay.
Do the thing.
And that's your bad luck catching up with you.
All right, I will.
It is limited to 25 words, right? Or is that different for sending stones?
We will say these sending stones specifically are limited once per day. You can talk as much as you want within reason, and then it just turns off. So basically, imagine it like a walkie-talkie. We just hold the button down, and you can say like, "Hey, you can have a conversation."
Self-recharging batteries.
Yeah, basically, you can have like a minute or so conversation with somebody if you wanted to.
It's Jack and Jody, right?
Joni, J.
Joni.
Yeah, Joni. Yeah.
All right, I'll turn it on. Jack, Jody, are you there?
After somewhat of a delay, you hear kind of a shout. Hello?
Hey, this is Sarabi and group.
Oh, fancy hearing you over this. How did you get one of our stones?
Yeah, about that. We came across Ada.
A pregnant pause. Oh?
Well, turns out it wasn't actually Ada. It had taken her appearance, and Ada's no longer with us.
Shit. We had a feeling. She's been missing for a few days. We got split up. There was something in the jungle.
Well, good news is we killed what took her appearance.
Oh. What was it?
No idea. I've never seen anything like it.
Huh, alright.
Would you like to meet up? We have Ada's body with us.
Where are you currently? We're somewhat preoccupied.
What's the nearest site that I can see?
Probably the river, I'd say. The river on the mountainside.
We know that they're probably at the Hydra because that was presumably not fake information, so like the mountain range south of the Hydra.
Okay, well, fake Ada told us you guys are heading towards the Hydra. We're actually down the river from that.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Which Hydra? There's two.
Oh, The one by the ziggurat?
We actually weren't headed that way. We're kind of a ways off, actually.
We're about, 12 hours southeast of that?
Not to be callous, but it would be rather difficult for us to get back, we'll put it that way. We've already lost, enough people.
Did
Are you south of us right now? Because we've been told that there's a lizard people called the Arvra this way, and they're really nasty.
That's what we're preoccupied with, yes. We're attempting to... There's a building, a collection of buildings. It looks to be an old city. We're trying to get in. There's a lighthouse here too, or an observatory or something. There's a lot going on here. It's a little more than we were anticipating. I just want to... Obviously, I want to find my brother. And everyone else here wants to get paid and such, but we've let's just say our group has had some complications.
Speaking of your brother, I've met 2 people who knew him.
Oh, really?
Within the past month, but I haven't found him yet. They don't know where he went.
Well, we'll keep on the lookout. As long as they've seen him alive, that's good.
I guess we'll do something with the body.
Could you bury her for us?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
I'll keep the stone in case you need us, and we might be headed down your way, just not sure when.
Okay.
Shush you.
We should be west of you guys. We're near the edge of the island, actually.
Okay.
If you are where I think you are. But yes, please do be careful. There's quite a bit more going on here than we initially anticipated. Fair warning. I guess we haven't met up after a while. When was the last time we talked?
Almost a week, I think.
She's pausing and thinking whether she should ask this question or not. Have you all spoken with the denizens of the island yet?
A few.
Which ones?
Ogres
The ones-
primarily.
The ones that hate Svarku.
Okay. Have you spoken with Svarku?
Not yet.
Not planning to.
I was about to ask if you're planning to. All right.
I mean, I wouldn't say not planning to.
Well, whatever.
He's a flavor. I am definitely not planning to talk to him.
I don't think
Whatever-
it's talk. It's more like murder.
Whatever you choose to do, let's just say that our group didn't necessarily see eye to eye. We're not necessarily sided with the ogres or Svarku or any of them, really. We've spoken with them. Like I said, we've spoken with Svarku. We've spoken with some of the ogres. There were some down here. There's not necessarily a camp, but they were out hunting, as per usual. Not really too strange. But let's just say that some of our members might have attempted to strike a deal with Svarku.
Are they with you right now, or have you split into 2 separate groups?
We're currently one group, but, well, they are insistent that we go back. Specifically, there's another pause. You can hear her moving about. Specifically, Jack.
He wants to work with Svarku?
I'm getting the feeling he does, yes.
Do you know why?
Yeah, he's here for a very particular reason. He doesn't care about my brother. He wants money.
Okay.
He's here to expand his business. I mean, Svarku can offer him that. The ogres can't.
Yeah, we do know Svarku probably does have.
Oh, no, he does. We like I said, we spoke with him. His denizens, if you will, are impossible to speak with. If you can somehow weasel your way in, or get captured, there's ways of speaking with him. Just, don't go in guns blazing.
Understood.
Let's just say, there's trouble in paradise. I'm trying to keep an eye out. I'm watching my back.
Good idea.
Yes, I recommend you do the same.
Yep, always.
Alrighty, was there anything else?
Not right now.
Alrighty, well, honestly, Lekka, Aldrin, Sarabi, thank you. If you could, I don't want to see the state of her body, honestly. If you could just bury her, I know this is a lot that I'm asking for. It seems callous, but I think it'd take us too long to get back there.
It's fine. We'll take care of it.
Alright, thank you again, truly.
Alright, keep yourself safe.
You too.
Bye.
Alright, bye. And then you hear it kind of fizzle out.
And I will look around. Is there an appropriate place to bury a body here?
Honestly, where she is, yeah. I wouldn't recommend getting too close to the riverside, but you can move around a little bit. The soil is very pliant in this general area, so you could, dig and bury her here if you wanted to.
All right, well, guys, this looks like as good a place as any to bury a body.
You're very nonchalant for a clerk.
Yeah, did it work?
You bowl strength him, yeah?
Get to digging, Aldrin.
Oh my god.
You know what? With that tone, I'm just going to sit on the ground and wait for your spell to
Just wait an hour?
Yep, I will sit here.
I like to imagine she just walked up to you, put her hand on your shoulder, and said, "Get to digging, buddy."
And I just sit down on the ground.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right
Come
then.
on, don't be like that.
Yeah,
All right, in that case, you're teaching me a word.
just use mold earth.
Mold
Do
earth.
we even
What's
have
that?
like
Assuming she has that
Anything
spell.
Probably not.
anything to
No.
dig with even?
I mean, wait, can clerics even learn that?
No. It's
I
eyeless.
think it's a wizard spell or like a
Damn it.
sorcerer.
I could probably get it, but I would need to use a long rest.
Regardless, we dig a hole for the body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
we,
have claws.
I'll help.
I say we being probably Sarabi and Leka.
I
Yes.
was gonna say you better be helping, or
I
I'm just
have
gonna sit on this
proficiency.
floor.
I have proficiency at digging, it's fine.
Exactly.
I don't think I have anything to dig with though.
I've dug many corpses. Graves.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
Yes.
Don't
As
worry
a
about
slave,
it.
that was my primary task, actually.
I'm assuming we would have like a shovel or something.
I believe one of you should, yeah.
Yeah, one of us should.
A rest or something, you can prepare a ritual and actually give her a proper burial.
I may wander off for like a sticks for some sort of cross or something.
And as you get all that set up, you guys find a nice place to bury the body, deep enough that animals shouldn't really get to it, but the earth will, take her back. And we kind of clean the area up. Maybe we like bury some of the bloodied sticks, kind of move them about.
Give
She was
her a
hidden.
Wizard's funeral and just cast fireball on her.
Exactly. Going out the way she went in. The way she would've liked it.
Aw.
After all that, I will say you guys can, if you want, explore within the same venue at 8. You guys can explore one thing here. And if you guys want to rest or move on or whatever you want to do.
Isn't it close to like midnight now?
It's 8 o'clock
But it would have taken us forever to dig that hole.
within the same 4-hour block, basically, to dig the hole and also to do the fight and all that nonsense and look at everything and all that. So it will be 12 by the time you guys find the next something, whatever that something may be. If you guys want to shack down somewhere, you're more than welcome to.
I guess we could get to the next thing and then shack down in front of it.
Okay, that works.
Well, assuming it's safe.
Assuming it's safe.
We have Daniel that can assist us. Let's
Sure.
see.
Daniel, what's the safest thing we can find?
Let's see. Daniel, answer this question, please. Sure thing, Daniel. I'll gladly do that. All right. Well, we'll look at a few things. We'll say while he's kind of flying about, you find a large stone, an interesting-looking statue with no head, and then you find a really large rock that has an odd pattern on it. Which one would you like to look at?
The rock.
Which one? The first one, second one.
The interesting pattern.
We can
The totally
very
not
much
big egg.
become as egg.
Can I
Isn't-
offer you an egg in these trying times?
Hopefully, it is indeed that egg. All right. Upon meandering about with the guidance of Daniel, we move on over to the Rock of Scales. There is a freestanding boulder nearly 300 feet tall and 200 feet across. This boy is huge. It resembles a gigantic egg, and it is sitting in a nest of rustling spider bushes, which are the little boys that run around when you poke at them. They seem to all be sleeping as of currently. It is indeed midnight, quite late. The entirety of the stone has been carved, from what you guys can tell, with serpentine scales. Each scale is roughly the size of a human hand. The boulder appears to be completely free of cracks, divots, or other flaws.
If I press my ears to it, can I hear a heartbeat?
You move close to it, and no heartbeat. It does indeed seem to be a stone that has scales carved into it.
Yeah, who would think this was an egg? Weirdo.
Honestly, it's probably too big for me to even guess it is an egg, so.
If only we had someone with like an identify spell or something. I'm not going to, by the way.
Well, is it climbable?
It'll be hard to climb, but it's
Are we
climbable. Yeah.
climbing the egg?
If you're wondering if you can sleep on it, 100% now.
Okay.
You're going to slide right out this thing.
Can we sleep beside it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, depends how close you are, but it's surrounded by spider brushes.
I mean, the spider brushes aren't poisonous or anything, so we're fine.
If anything, they'll be nice and warm.
Yeah, we can cuddle up to them. In the morning, we're roots in our veins and leaves in our pores.
I'm
Only
fine
some-
with that.
Only
Wouldn't be the
somewhat
first time.
horrifying.
Oh my god, why did I say that?
I don't know. I definitely wasn't going to do that, I promise.
Yeah, because I hate that.
What? Why?
Because of that movie!
Oh, you're boring. Which movie? Remind me.
The one in the cigarette with the living plants.
The
that
bubble
infest
one.
your veins.
The
With the-
bubble one?
With the bear plant.
Oh, Annihilation.
Yes.
God, that's such a good movie.
No.
You want to watch it again? It's so good, though. I totally forgot how horrifying it was. I'm like, this part, there's a jump scare here. She's like, oh, God. And then all the other parts, like, I didn't remind her. I'm like, oh, this is pretty creepy, isn't it? Oops. The parts that weren't jump scares were scarier than the jump scares. I'm like, oh, rip, sorry. And she, like, won't stop bringing them up. Every time I describe something, she's like, hub, stop. I'm like, what? She's like, is it like that? I'm like, no, it's not like that.
It's just a little bit of body horror. It's fine.
I love body horror.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Some body horrors are just too creepy.
Alrighty. Midnight. Bushels. We sleeping next to it?
Yeah.
Who is taking first and second watch? How we doing this?
Daniel, and Daniel.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
I mean, he's a familiar. He doesn't need sleep.
This is very true.
He can do that.
Yeah, you can. Do you guys want to tag off and just all three of you sleep together and then you just kind of chill for 4 hours?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
All right. Everybody,
Leave it,
go
Daniel.
before we actually hit
He's,
the long rest
he's
button.
currently like roosting on the egg, trying to hatch it.
Go ahead and roll me perception with advantage, Lego.
That's a critical perception.
All right. Well, you didn't even
Without
roll with
even
it.
advantage.
You didn't even need advantage. Alrighty. With that 23 to perception, Daniel keeps a very fair eye out. And he looks about and he looks about and don't really see anything too strange. There are some animals kind of doing their thing off in the distance, but we don't really see anyone getting too close, fortunately. We seem to be relatively safe here, actually. There are a few, I'd say, elementals kind of chilling in the distance, and Daniel's just kind of watching them. They don't approach you guys. Some of them look towards your general direction. Some of them can see Daniel. They kind of, not really wave necessarily, but they look towards him and acknowledge him, and they kind of move off elsewhere. And this happens a few times, but nothing really comes to actually bother you guys. So you guys can go ahead, and the three of you slap that long rest button. It would be, once again, 8 a.m., and we'll be on day 10. While the three of you guys are relaxing, how do we feel about the day?
About what happened with Ada?
Just the whole day, yeah.
I mean, this island is doing things to people.
Definitely perturbed. And Lekka is still convinced that it's related to the thing on the ship. So he's now very curious, like, what the hell the connection is there.
It was
Yeah, but we didn't see that guy if he shed his skin, so...
Yes, but I saw it very similar, like mucousy-like. And we
Yeah.
know that it turned because Mamatel dredged something up that was definitely not human.
Oh,
She
yeah,
told us
okay.
it, right?
Mm-hmm. He was
Yeah.
still human, but in the process of not being human, if you
Yes.
will. Whatever it was, he transformed quite a bit. He was in the middle of it, or trying to maintain his humanity. Very difficult to tell, but all the same, not fun to look at.
Yeah, so Lekka's basically sharing with them the idea that potentially Mamatel or the crew might have been here before,
Oh,
and they brought something back.
possible.
Alrighty.
And now Lekka's worried that he might also be invested. Dun, dun, dun.
You're fine.
I have two wonderful
If I'm not.
bits of information for you guys.
It will kill you.
Oh, God.
Oh, good.
The first bit of information, Lekka's actually a monster. I cast fireballs right now.
Meanie.
What if I fireball myself first, idiot?
As you two sleep, I'll put fireball. I'll set the brushes on fire
Ah,
and have you
yes.
burn to death in your sleep.
Perfect. What I've always wanted.
Free cremation.
Right, we have a problem.
Yes.
It has now been exactly a week since I ate.
Yeah. You gotta look for somebody.
Eldrin.
I'm hungry.
You'll find somebody. You gotta keep a
It's
looking.
not me.
It's definitely Eldrin.
No.
I volunteer tribute.
He's not human.
You can have Daniel.
You might
don't
want to
think
start
she can
helping me
feast.
find someone.
I don't think she can feast on elementals, right?
No.
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 Just give him
Not
a little
yet.
kiss. Just a little kiss on the beak. On his little nose beak.
It has to be humanoid. I'm only interested in men.
Aldrin, go ahead and roll me 1d12 plus 4.
I don't even want to know what the hell that roll's about.
All right, I have two wonderful pieces of news for you guys. News piece number 1, we're all level 5. Congratulations! Yay!
Oh my god.
So we can tinker that for next week. wonderful news number 2, and the point of news that we'll go ahead and end the session on, as you guys are sleeping near this very large egu, and Daniel is keeping watch. He is indeed keeping watch as well as he possibly can. You guys rub the sleep from your eyes, kind of look around, and you hear some rustling outside of your tent. The rustling is relatively loud. You hear kind of snorting and other various noises of animals, but not
Like pig snorting?
Not pig snorting. Daniel would have warned you if this was bad. Does anyone poke their head out first, or?
I will.
All right. As you do, you see this wonderful creature on which you've never laid your eyes on before. It is
Yes, a Snorkucklus.
a Snorkucklus, precisely. Except you see 14 of them, and they are absolutely going.
Herd of Snorkucklus.
You see a herd of 14 Snorkelopicus, and they are absolutely going to Pound Town
On each other?
on each other.
I will stare. Why
Wait,
is this island
are we
so
talking
horny?
about the fighting for supremacy Pound Town, or like the
Carnal
breeding for
relations.
survival Pound Town?
Carnal relations. They seem to be
Right.
evenly spread around this giant egg, gazing upon it while mating.
Yes. That's
Why
what
is this
we want.
island so horny?
Welcome to the mating egg. You found it.
Should we bring this egg?
No.
Is it less than 500 pound now?
Definitely not.
It's an aphrodisiac. It's an aphrodisiac.
Oh my god.
Okay, what was that?
You're suggesting that it's edible then?
Oh, maybe. Good luck.
I lick the egg.
Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.